Resetting our top story of the day, Chris Paul is headed to the Suns via trade. Thunder will receive Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, Ty Jerome, Jalen Lecque, and a 2022 first-round pick for Paul and Abdel Nader. That's according to our agent Wojnarowski. So, Dave, as we look at the Suns' new lineup, how good are they now with Chris Paul?
I mean, listen, if we can see some further development from DeAndre Ayton and he becomes a guy who fills in the dunker spot on offense and can be the recipient of those wonderful lobs that Chris Paul used to throw to Tyson Chandler back in the day, you see him hit another level to his game. You have Devin Booker, one of the best shot creators in the league, who will have the benefit of the confidence that he built for himself down in Orlando and recognize that there really aren't people in this league that can stop me if I can hit a game winner over Paul George and Kawhi Leonard at the same time, and he'll only get better. And then you have guys, as I mentioned earlier in the show, Bridges, who I love, who was, a championship type of guy at Villanova, who comes in with 3-and-D capabilities, will be put in positions to maximize his game by someone like Chris Paul, who knows all the nuances that can make a player better. And so you put that together, you have a guy who can really get through and connect in his players, and Monty Williams. I think they got a really good thing going there. And, again, it's not a lock to be a playoff team because it's the West, but they're a team that should be competitive every night.
I like the move for Phoenix. I think it will help them chase the playoffs. So I'm going to pick them to make the playoffs. I think I'm a little wary of your turn, my turn with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, but I bet they figure out some ways to keep it flowing. Ayton's going to be a stud on offense. To me, the question is, this team's going to be a top 10, maybe even top 5 offense. They're going to be a good offense. The question is, does Ayton develop fast enough on defense to get them to average-ish on that end, or do they have to spend whatever remaining cap flexibility they have, whether that's the mid-level exception and bringing back Dario Saric or going under the cap and splurging on somebody? Do they have to spend that on defense? Everyone's obsessed with them getting a stretch 4 like Gallinari or Bertans or somebody like that. I kind of want to tilt it the other way. Can they shore up their defense at all? Because I think offensively, with Chris in there, particularly late in games, I think this has a chance to be a really good offensive team.
Zach, how much did the familiarity with Monty Williams play into this with Chris?
I think it certainly played a role. I mean, Woj was talking about this before. Sam Presti at Oklahoma City has a track record of guys of this stature. He's not going to trade them anywhere they don't want to go. That means Chris was cool with Phoenix. He liked the situation. I'm sure Monty, whoever, he's almost universally adored in the NBA. Good coach. I'm sure that played a role.
Zach, let me ask you one more. I asked Dave this earlier about their ceiling. You have them penciled in as a playoff team. Obviously, it is the West. It's kind of crazy. What's their ceiling, the Suns, potentially?
I think their ceiling is probably something like the 5th or 6th seed. I mean, the West is an absolute bloodbath, and you have a lot of teams that can go up, go down, an injury here or injury there. I think it's going to be tough to crack LA, Denver, and then you can start penciling in some teams. Like, I think Utah will have a strong season, but I don't see any reason why, if everything hits right for Phoenix, like the rest of their cap flexibility, they spend it well, they stay healthy. Does Chris have quite the season he had last year? Let's say he has 5% worse. I don't see any reason why they can't be in that mix for 5, 6, 7 in the West as their ceiling.
Interesting.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.